This is a true story, drawn from the faded letters and fragile memories left behind. In the trenches of the First World War, amidst the mud and the smoke, a young man wrote home. His words, soaked in hope, fear, and love, stitched a fragile line between the chaos of the front and the quiet life he had left behind. Tonight, we invite you to listen, to remember, and to let your heart be touched by a bond that even war could not sever. Letter 1. Edward to his parents. Dear Mother and Father, the sun rose this morning over a land that seemed almost forgotten by God. The sky was a bruised purple and gray, the kind that speaks of more rain to come, and the light, when it finally broke through the clouds, did little to dispel the gloom that hangs heavy over everything here. The mud stretches out for miles, a viscous, sucking mire, the color of churned earth and stagnant water, broken only by the gnarled skeletons of trees, their branches clawing at the sky like skeletal fingers, and the crumbling outlines of what were once homes, now just hollowed out shells against the desolate landscape. I write to you from a dugout barely big enough to sit in, a cramped space carved into the earth and reinforced with rough timber. The air inside is damp and smells of soil and something else, something metallic and faintly unsettling. But it's a comfort nonetheless, a small sanctuary compared to the open field, where the wind whips relentlessly and the constant threat hangs like a shroud. We are told to hold the line here. That's all we ever seem to do, hold the line. The officers speak in clipped tones, their voices often strained, and their faces worn thin, etched with a weariness that goes beyond mere physical exhaustion. I see it in their eyes, a flicker of fear mingled with a grim duty that keeps them going. Each day feels stitched together by moments of agonizing waiting, the silence punctuated only by the distant rumble of artillery or the sharp crack of a rifle shot, and sudden bursts of chaos, the whistle of a shell, the frantic shouts, the sickening thud of impact. But in the quiet moments, like now, when a lull has fallen over the battlefield, my thoughts drift home. They always do. It's the only escape I have. I think of the kitchen, Mother, warm and fragrant with the comforting aroma of fresh bread baking in the oven. I can almost smell it, that yeasty, sweet scent that always filled the house on a Tuesday morning. I picture you standing by the stove, your brow furrowed in concentration as you knead the dough, your hands moving with a familiar grace. I think of the creak of Father's chair by the hearth, the rhythmic squeak of the old wood as he settles into his usual spot after supper, the gentle scratch of his newspaper as he turns the pages, absorbing the news of a world that feels so far removed from this one. I think of the hills beyond the village where the wildflowers grew taller than my knees in the summer, a riot of color, the bright red of poppies, the delicate blue of forget-me-nots, the sunny yellow of buttercups, swaying in the gentle breeze. I remember chasing butterflies there with Samuel, our laughter echoing through the fields. I carry a photograph of the three of us, a little worn now, the edges softened from being constantly touched, taken on my last birthday before all this began. Your smiles are so bright in that picture, so full of a joy that seems almost impossible to imagine now. It reminds me that there is a world beyond this mud, beyond the endless gray of the trenches, and the smoke-filled sky. It reminds me of what I am fighting for, of what I hope to return to. Please do not worry, Mother and Father. I know you do, and the thought of your worry is another weight I carry. But I am stronger than I ever knew. This place, it hardens you in ways you can't understand, and your love is the shield that keeps me standing, the unwavering beacon that guides me through the darkness. All my love, Edward. Letter 2. Parents to Edward. Our dearest Edward, your letter reached us just yesterday. The postman, poor Mr. Davies, looked as weary as the news he often carries these days. The envelope was rain-soaked and battered, the ink slightly blurred in places, but every word inside was a treasure, a lifeline to our boy so far away. We read it over and over again, each sentence a comfort and a fresh wave of longing. The village has not changed much, Edward. Life here continues its quiet rhythm, a stark contrast to the turmoil you are enduring. The church bells still ring out over the fields every Sunday morning, their familiar peal a comforting sound that reminds us of simpler times. Your father tends the garden every morning without fail, his hand still strong despite the passing years. Though he moves a little slower these days, his back not quite as straight as it used to be. The tomatoes are ripening on the vine, and the roses you planted by the gate are a riot of color. I've kept the kitchen warm for you, just as you remember it. The old range still throws out a comforting heat, and the kettle whistles merrily on the hob. Your chair is still by the window where you used to sit and watch the storms roll in across the valley, a book often open in your lap, your brow furrowed in thought. It feels empty now, Edward, a silent testament to your absence. Your brother Samuel misses you fiercely, more than words can say. He asks every day when you come home, his small voice full of unwavering hope. Soon, we tell him, trying to sound more certain than we feel, though our hearts twist with uncertainty and a fear we try to hide from him. He still talks about the fishing trip you promised him, his eyes lighting up at the thought of casting his line into the river with his big brother. We are so proud of you, Edward, your bravery, your resilience, your kind heart. You carry all our dreams with you, and the weight of that knowledge is both a comfort and a burden. We pray for your safety every night, our voices joining the chorus of worried families across the land. Come home safe, my dear boy. That is our only wish, our constant prayer, all our love, Mother and Father. Letter 3. Edward to his parents. Dear Mother and Father, the cold has settled deep into our bones now, a damp, biting chill that no amount of layers seems to ward off. The trenches are little rivers of ice and muck, the water seeping into our boots and chilling us to the core. We huddle together for warmth when we can, sharing what little comfort we have. But we manage in our way. Soldiers are resilient creatures, I've learned. We find ways to endure. Private Dawson, a quiet lad from Yorkshire, found a battered fiddle somewhere, God knows where, and he plays at night by the flickering light of the small fires we're allowed. The notes, though sometimes melancholic, lift our spirits, even as the shells fall with a distant, muffled thud that serves as a constant reminder of where we are. The music weaves a fragile spell, a temporary escape from the harsh reality of our existence. I have seen too much, Mother and Father, too much death, too much suffering, too many young faces, boys barely older than Samuel, stilled forever in the mud, their eyes staring blankly at a sky they will never see again. I wonder sometimes why I am still here when so many are not. It feels wrong, a cruel twist of fate, to be lucky when so many others have been taken. But your letters bring light into this darkness. They are a tangible link to the world I remember, a reminder that beyond this broken land, there is still warmth, still love, still life. I reread them constantly, tracing your familiar handwriting, clinging to every word. I dream of a kitchen, of Samuel's infectious laugh echoing through the house, of Father's quiet strength, his steady presence a silent reassurance. These memories are my most prized possessions here. Tell Samuel I will teach him to fish at the river just as I promised when I return. We'll spend whole days by the water, the sun on our faces, the only sounds the gentle murmur of the stream and the chirping of birds. Tell him to keep my place by the hearth and that I look forward to sharing stories with him by the fire. I love you both more than I can ever say. Your love sustains me in ways you cannot imagine. Your son, Edward. Letter 4. Parents, to Edward. Our dearest Edward, Samuel keeps your chair dusted every day without fail. It's his special task, and he performs it with a solemnity that both touches and breaks our hearts. He places his small hand on the worn wooden armrest as if he can still feel your presence there. The roses you planted last spring, the ones you were so proud of, have bloomed late this year, stubbornly beautiful against the coming frost. Their vibrant red is a splash of color in the increasingly gray landscape of autumn. We like to think they're blooming for you, a little piece of home reaching out across the miles. The war news fills the newspapers, Edward, each headline a fresh stab of anxiety. The casualty lists grow longer with each passing week, and though we try to remain hopeful, clinging to every positive report, our hearts ache with every name we recognize, with every story of loss. We pray for you every night, our voices joining the countless prayers being offered up for sons and husbands and brothers across the land. The days grow shorter, and the nights are long and filled with worry. We find ourselves staring into the fire, imagining you in that cold, desolate place, and our hearts clench with fear. If only love could reach across the miles, Edward, and shield you from harm, you would be the safest soul alive. We send all our love with every thought, every prayer. Stay strong, dear Edward. Hold on to hope. Come home to us. That is all that matters. With all our love, Mother and Father. Epilogue. Edward never came home. The letter from the War Office arrived on a cold morning, the paper crisp and official, its starkness a cruel contrast to the shattered hopes and hearts it delivered. Edward had fallen in the last great push at Ypres, a battle that claimed so many lives in its final desperate throes, just days before the ceasefire that would have brought an end to the carnage. His parents buried his letters in a small wooden box, a repository of his hopes, his fears, and his enduring love, along with the photograph he had carried so faithfully. Each year, on the 1st of November, the anniversary of his death, Mother would place a single rose, one of Edward's, by the silent hearth. His chair remained by the window, a poignant reminder of the young man who would never sit in it again. The house grew quieter with each passing year, the silence amplifying the absence, but the echo of Edward's laughter, the indelible memory of his love, never faded. It lived on in the stories his parents shared, in the carefully preserved letters, and in the enduring love that bound their small family together, even in the face of unimaginable loss. Thank you for listening to Edward's story. If his journey touched your heart, please leave a comment below and subscribe for more stories that deserve to be remembered. Until next time, hold your loved ones close and never let a letter go unwritten.